About 5 years ago, when I first started running, I had no idea what I was doing. For the entire first year, I would go out and try and run a new mile PR every single day. My heart rate was up near the max almost every run. I was constantly sore and injured, but after becoming obsessed with running and running half marathons, marathons, ultra marathons, and just trying to learn and absorb as much information as I could about the sport, I've developed a training method and a lifestyle that has allowed me to continue to PR my races, run further distances, and get stronger in the weight room. In this video, I'm gonna give you guys my 3 biggest tips that have helped me run stronger, run faster, and run farther. So I hope you enjoy. Let's dive into it. So the first thing that's helped me to build endurance, be able to run stronger, farther, and faster is Zone 2 training. I feel like everybody talks about Zone 2 training. It's such a buzzword these days. If you've never heard of Zone 2 training, let me break it down for you. Okay, so here we have the 5 heart rate zones. And then over here we have the percentage of our max heart rate. When we are exercising, typically our heart rate will be somewhere within these 5 zones. This zone, zone 5, is an all-out sprint. Your heart rate is near 100%, basically as hard as you can, and you can't hold that for very long. Then we have zone 4. We're getting a little bit easier. This is maybe like a 5K or a 10K, pushing it pretty dang hard, but you're not all the way maxed out. Then we have zone 3, a half marathon, marathon, maybe a long tempo run. It's something you can do for a couple hours. I'm gonna skip down here to zone 1. This is a walk or a very, very slow, easy jog, maybe a hike. Your heart rate's elevated, but you can talk very easily. And this is something you can hold for pretty much all day long. Now this right here, this is the sweet spot. This is zone 2. And this falls somewhere between 60 to 70% of our max heart rate. And this sweet spot right here is what allows us to build proper aerobic endurance. A lot of people will also use the formula of 180 minus your age, and that is the max of your zone 2 heart rate. This is called the Maffetone method. In my experience, you should spend roughly 80% of your time running in zone 2 and the other 20% somewhere between zone 3, 4, and 5. The reason zone 2 works is because it allows you to keep coming back on a consistent basis. And as we all know, the consistency of running is really what builds the fitness. So yes, zone 2 has some science and physiological reasons for why it works, but also it just allows you to be consistent. But with that being said, this morning is my final long run of the Brazos Bend 100K prep. I have 10 easy miles meaning zone 2 miles. I'm gonna do the first few miles with the dogs, and then I'll hit the rest by myself. So let's go do it. All right, you guys ready? You ready? So pretty much every day that I run from home, I will do the first 2 to 3 miles with the dogs. And we usually come to this big park. It's actually like a big soccer field complex. There's like 8 soccer fields, and I let them off the leash and they just go nuts. Zooming all over. They just love it so much. So I basically just do a couple laps around. I tack on another mile or so while they run around. One thing I've come to learn from having these 2 dogs is dogs have very simple needs. There's 3 things they want. They want food, they want love, and they want some exercise. You can give those 3 things to a dog every day, they will live their best life. We had 10 miles in 1 hour, 27 minutes at an 8:46 minute per mile pace. Average heart rate was 135, right in zone 2, right where we want to be. Zone 2 is my first tip for how to build endurance, how to run stronger, faster, and farther. Let's head inside and I'll show you guys tip number 2. There is the breakfast, the first meal of the day. We've got 4 eggs. We've got 2 pieces of toast with butter and jelly. I'm using the Dave's Killer Bread. This is the organic sprouted whole grains. We've got 2 grass-fed, grass-finished flat iron steaks. We've got a bowl of blueberries and blackberries. We have some Mother Culture pumpkin pie Greek yogurt. This is locally made and it is so good. Then we've got in here our memory greens and runway collagen. I drink this every day. Of course, we can never forget our glass of raw milk. So good. That's the breakfast. Let's eat. So as you can probably guess, my second tip for building better endurance is nutrition. I think nutrition is one of the biggest deficiencies for most runners, and I know this because it used to be my biggest deficiency. I was running and lifting almost every day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, yet my diet didn't really change to keep up with all the extra energy that I was burning. Therefore, I was tired, I was injured, I was sore all the time. And then over the last year or so, I became really intentional with what I eat. So I always start my day with some really high quality protein, usually eggs, always some kind of meat, typically beef, either ground beef or steak. I'll do a little bit of healthy carbs, like this bowl of fruit or some toast with some healthy bread. I also eat a lot of Greek yogurt because of its high protein content. I drink probably 3 to 4 glasses of milk every day. It has a ton of vitamins, nutrients, all the macronutrients you want. Taking things like greens, multivitamins, and other daily supplements that can kind of fill the gaps wherever the diet might be missing. And one other really important thing I feel like I should mention is that I never track my calories. I've tried tracking my calories before. In my opinion, it's not very sustainable. And when it comes to nutrition, it's all about sustainability and finding that thing that you can do every single day for a long period of time. If you can track your calories every day and find that it's sustainable, then do it. But for me, it's just too much work. I miss days, I miss meals, and I think you can become too hyper-focused on counting individual calories, counting your macros. And I think that instead, if you just think of everything from a big picture perspective of how does this food make me feel after I eat it, and is it allowing me to thrive and do the things that I want to do? So that's tip number 2, take care of your nutrition. Find something that's sustainable, something you can do every single day and be consistent with. This afternoon, I have a lower body strength workout where I'm gonna tell you guys tip number 3 on how to build more endurance and run stronger, faster, and farther. We'll see you there. And my third tip to help build endurance and be able to run stronger, faster, and farther is strength training, as you probably guessed. Strength training is a crucial part of my routine. I lift between 3 to 5 days a week, always 2 lower body days. And today I'm gonna walk you through one of my typical lower body strength sessions. So I'm gonna grab a band and we'll start warming up. I start every strength training session with the same band routine. I'll do some lateral walks. The key with these is to keep a slight bend in your knees. Keep everything nice and parallel. Don't step out. You want to step straight to the side. These will light up your glute med. Then I'll go into some high knees. These will make your hip flexors just scream. These are tough. Then I'll do a few kickbacks. I personally think that glutes are the root of most running injuries. And for the last band exercise, we'll do some deep squats, really making sure to squeeze at the top with the glutes. Keep tension on the band the whole time. Don't let your knees cave in. You want to keep your knees out the whole time. So I like to start every strength workout with a compound movement. If I'm doing legs, it is typically deadlifts. For me, deadlifts seem to help the most with my running. Again, going back to strengthening glutes and hamstrings, that's just where I feel the most benefit. All right, and the first working set of the night is some pause rep deadlifts. Basically, we're gonna lift the weight about 1 inch off the floor. We're gonna hold it there for about 3 seconds and then pull up for the rep. This is 335 pounds. Our next set, we go up to 355. Woo. Oh, those are so hard. All right, we've got another set of 5. Same thing, but we are now at 350 pounds. All right, our last set of deadlifts here is actually Romanian deadlifts. This is 345 pounds. No clue if I can do this or not. We will find out here shortly. All right, for the next exercise, everybody's favorite, Bulgarian split squats. I'm gonna show you guys a hack for these too that I just learned yesterday from my friend Travis to find the perfect distance for how far you go out with your feet, because I know that can be tricky, is you just sit basically as far on the edge as you can, put your feet straight out, plant your heels, and then you can bring one foot in, and that is the perfect distance. So right there, grab our weights, and here we go. When I realized that running is a single leg activity, my mind was totally blown. Bulgarian split squats, lunges, box step ups, those are some of my favorite single leg exercises. And by single leg, all I mean is you have one foot planted on the ground and the majority of the load that you're holding is on that one side of your body. But with these, for example, obviously both of my feet have contact, but this foot that's out in front of me is bearing most of the load, therefore making it a single leg exercise. And the final exercise I'm gonna do this evening is some kettlebell curtsy squats. These are a little tricky, especially if you've never done them before, but you go back, reach behind and across, and then squat down, and go to the other side. These are great because, again, they are single leg, but they also work cross-planally, if that's a word. Forcing yourself to go across your center of gravity with your weight, with your balance. So it requires not only strength, but stability as well. And just like that, we are done with our strength workout. Again, reiterating, the third tip for you guys is strength training. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Spend 30 to 45 minutes in the gym just a few times a week. Pick a handful of exercises, do them on a consistent basis. It really doesn't have to be complicated. As you can see, I just did 3 different exercises here tonight. That's what a typical workout looks like for me. I'm in and out within about 30 to 45 minutes. And each one of those workouts goes so far to prevent injuries, to help you run farther, to help you run faster, and just be stronger and healthier as a whole. So hopefully these 3 tips helped you guys. We're now only 7 days out from the Brazos Bend 100K, the longest distance that I've ever raced. It's gonna be such a fun time. I've got a videographer coming out. We're gonna do a little short film about the race, showing you guys the whole weekend, the whole experience, everything in between. It's gonna be so much fun. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.